Yo, another day, another thought. Welcome out to another edition of the Double Thought Show. Hope you guys are doing great. As you guys know, I'm RJ here together with my co-host KR. KR, what's up, man?
Docking the fate. You know.
All right. Thanks for everyone that's checking out this show. If this is your first time checking out Double Thought Show, welcome. Remember to engage with us, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. That's the most important thing you can do for us at this point. We're trying to get to 30 new subs each week, breaking down the big goal we have in smaller goals. And we see that a lot of you guys who are watching and rewatching aren't subscribed yet. But if you haven't done so already, please subscribe because it really means a lot to us, guys. So please do so. Remember as well to share the video with your friends, your families, and of course, distract your enemies with our videos. Check us out on our socials at Double Thought Show on Facebook and Instagram. Maybe coming to Facebook thread soon. KR, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so please subscribe if you haven't done so already. We want to grow the channel, increase production, and we can only do that thanks with the help of you guys. So you see the improvements we've made a couple of weeks ago, and we're just getting started. So it really means a lot to us if you can engage and subscribe. Before we start the show, remember, guys, this is a entertainment show. We're here to provide entertainment. We make a lot of jokes. Sometimes those jokes can be a bit out of pocket. Just remember, guys, don't take life too seriously.
Protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, don't take life too seriously. We don't do so, but we just like to talk about certain topics always with a bit of humor to it, and we see that a lot of our subs like it as well. So with that being said, guys, I think KR, we can start.
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin? As already mentioned, I said I'm ducking the fate. Protect yourself at all times. Today, we're going to talk about Damian Anderson. Coming true. Brolic and all. No, yes, I'm just kidding. It's not Damian Anderson. That's the role Jonathan Majors played in Creed 3. We're going to be talking about Jonathan Majors and his case, which started somewhere in March. We were watching it, but we didn't think it was at that moment in time the right moment to address it because it was still developing, and we thought right now everything is settled. The dust has been settled. The punches have been thrown. And we're going to talk today about, will Jonathan Majors survive this possible hit job? Is this a hit job? Is this someone trying to inflict damage on his reputation while they're on their way out of a relationship? That she knew that it was over and trying to end his career at the same time. You're not with me anymore, so chop. You're not gonna eat as well. Either you eat with me or you don't eat at all. RJ, what do you think about this topic? And do you have something more to add?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that the dust has settled. So I think it's still settling. If you see the news, things are developing, and as the wise philosopher Shannon Sharpadamus once said, let it develop, Skip. So we need to let it develop. Let everything, let the story develop. But there are definitely some very interesting things that we can talk about. There's, I mean, like any good movie, like any good story, there's a, well, I hate it when someone says it, but there's a twist or multiple twists in this video, and we haven't even reached the end yet. So I'm just very, yeah. But as Kara said, at the past we talked about it. It wasn't. We talked about doing the show, but everything just started. And you know how things are, guys. We're quick to reach conclusions, and we're quick to vilify. We wanted to let things develop, and now we have enough to make at least a first show of this story.
Skip, we got a better assessment. Skip, we have a better assessment of the situation now. Why do I sound like Mike Tyson?
I
Anyway,
like these sound like
guys,
Bora! Hora do show!
it's showtime. And in today's show, we're going to talk about Jonathan Majors. And we're going to start at the very beginning. How did it all started? Where are we now? Where are we going to go to in the future? Jonathan has been dropped by a couple of brands already, but the biggest brand hasn't dropped him yet. We're going to talk about that in the second part of the show. In the first part, we're going to dive a bit deeper into the case itself. Guys, it all started end March, beginning of April, where Jonathan got arrested for assault and harassment. Of his then girlfriend. The army pulled out right away. Like it was Afghanistan. Before we knew it, they were gone.
recklessly.
Your mic, or is it me?
No, it's me. I said recklessly.
Recklessly, they pulled out. They were like, I'm
Which
out of here.
which isn't which is out of character for the army because they're not known to pull out.
Oh, they've been pulling out lately, right? New presidents, new pull-out methods.
Yeah, well,
They don't leave it in. Pause. Anyway, oh,
the the army, yes, but not the
Oh.
soldiers. The soldiers don't pull out. They have babies everywhere. Man.
shout out to all the soldiers.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Anyway, guys, so he was accused right away of assault and harassment. The funny thing is, according to the story, there are different stories being told. The main story that has been told is that it was Jonathan who called 12, or some who call them the police, to assist him because he was the one ducking the 1-2s. And the 1-2s are the... He was being tapped out here. We didn't realize he's just an actor, and he was the one who was getting the blue eyes at home. Was he was he mad at acting the role of his girlfriend? Was he the one? Was Damien actually the character he was playing as his girlfriend? I guess we'll never know the real truth behind it. But he was the one basically ducking the fate. He called the police. And what happened is that there were a lot of articles released around that time. New York Post saying Jonathan Major's girlfriend takes blame for fight that led to assault charges. Text show. RJ, have you read about those texts?
I've read about those texts. I think I've read one of those texts as well. When I read it, I was like,
I don't know if we need to release this one.
not sure if this is not sure if this is what you want to. Not sure if it's doing what you think it's supposed to do, because you can interpret it very, very badly, not in favor of Jonathan Majors. But I did read some of the text, and I believe from the get-go, I think like 2 or 3 days later, Jonathan Majors did come out and say that he was the victim. But KR, I mean, the Creed 3 movie just dropped. People saw what he could do. So
They just didn't know he was playing his girlfriend.
if he was playing Steve Urkel,
Wow.
guys, I mean, some of you
He had
guys,
a better chance.
yeah, this might go. Some of you guys might need to look him up.
No, I'll look him up for them.
So
Don't worry. Continue. I'll look him up for him.
if he was playing Steve Urkel, then people might have been able to accept that he is, accept that he is a victim. But he played a buff villain that can fight, and he plays a villain in other series as well. So I mean, he was fighting an uphill. He is fighting.
He is fine.
An
Look at
uphill
this.
battle.
Look at this. Do you guys believe? And for the listeners, we're gonna show a picture of him that they took for the Creed 3 movie. Do you actually? This is the thing with movies, right? You have a certain perception of someone, and the perception is not always a reality. For example, Al Pacino is not Scarface. Even though some might think he is not really Scarface. What you see in a movie is not always reality. Who would have thought, and I'm going to show the picture now, that this man, this brolic dude, was the one catching the fade. Look at him. He looks very, very threatening in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie, for sure, because he can play a villain very well. He can convince anybody.
Very well.
What did you say?
No, I said very well.
Very well, very well. Very well. And that is something that I mean, it gives you a perception. I forgot who it was, KR. I think it was someone. Yeah, that's Steve Urkel, guys. That's what I was talking about. For those of you who don't know, if he was playing this, if he had this role, and he said that he was a victim, then people would believe him. But you can't be villains in all the movies and expect people to think that you're innocent. That's unfortunate. But people, I don't know, people seemingly can't distinct fact from fiction. But
Stupid.
But I forgot who it was. I think it was one of the actresses who played in Friday, Felicia. The one that played Felicia. It's in Friday, right? She says that people still to this day make jokes about her, and like she's even traumatized. She's
But they wasn't it they were people were walking to and Dave Chappelle also said it, right? He was at I think it was Disney World or Disneyland. I don't know, one of the Disney theme parks. And people were walking in back when he had the Chappelle show out.
Chappelle show,
Skit, and it was the skit about
I'm rich, rich.
Was it yeah, was it? I think it's rich bitch, or it was the
Oh,
um
the very famous
Rick
one.
James. Rick
Rick James.
James, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was people were walking. He was
I'm
walking with his kids, and people were, I'm Rick James, bitch. Come on, man.
I'm with my children.
I'm with my kids. Yes. Come on, have a heart, guy. Come on, man. Where is? Hey, man, where is Biden? Where you meet? Man, you need him.
Come on, man.
Oh, Biden always forgets to chime in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the thing. Yes. So yes, continue, RG. Just wanted to add to your story.
Yeah, so sometimes people can separate fact from fiction, and I think that the media took the story, ran with it, and people automatically believed it because, I mean, we're talking about a villain in movies, right? So yeah, it was crazy. But immediately after the story got out, like 2 or 3 days later, he said that he was the victim, and people didn't believe him. And subsequently, all you could see in the news were negative consequences, right? I think KR, you have some more information about that. What these
Yes,
consequences?
yes. So like you said, it's a good transition to the next part. People were alleging that he was an abuser mentally. More, it seems like they're pushing towards the mental abuse part. And there are some articles created by that. I mean, the Rolling Stones guy, there is a source. It's not our source. It's Rolling Stone. You know, if you want to sue Rolling Stone. Don't sue us. Anyway, Rolling Stone says Jonathan Major's extreme abuse. What is extreme? Anyway, allegedly goes back to nearly a decade. Major's was abusive with partners, aggressive on sets, and a source of toxicity at Yale. 2,000 sources tell Rolling
2000,
Stone.
2000. Wait a minute.
2000, sorry.
Wait a minute. Yo.
Well. That's how they set up Bill Cosby, right? 2000. Anyway, 2000. Why did I say 1,000? By the way, anyway, 2,000 sources tell Rolling Stones.
You want him in jail.
They really want him in jail, right? So this is what the story basically tells is that the magazine spoke to about 40 people who say they knew. They're all anonymous, but they say they knew Majors personally, either from school, work, or as friends. Well, hell of a friend you are, but if this is being a friend, I might as well not call you a friend, right? You might as well be my enemy. But anyway, friends, and they described him as being a complicated and unpredictable person who sometimes is violent and can switch from charming to cold in a flash. Well, maybe I interpret this wrong, but I think it's like 90% of people, right?
Yeah. I think it's called being human, man.
It's being human. Anyway, I don't know. So this is the thing. These stories, and I'm not trying to defend the guy. I'm just assessing the story. These stories are always out of context, right? They don't never give you the context on when he was violent, who he was violent to. Did they say some wild shit against them?
Did someone sleep with his girl? I mean,
Well, again,
it was weird. He was fine when he got in,
and suddenly you heard, what is that sound? Anyway,
I heard.
again,
He responded by saying, "That's the same sound I heard when I got home."
they are saying, are saying he was mentally abusive towards emotional torture.
Wow.
But what is emotional torture?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
I
I don't, that's a very good question. I don't know what it is.
emotional torture. According um, to the story, they are saying that Majors was physically and mentally and emotionally abusive to partners, crew members, and various movie sets. Um, and basically, Rolling Stone claimed that they reached out to six people, and they never consented to having those statements released, while another said it was not truthful, and one more didn't respond to the request for comment. So even the story is, I know, on loose screws. I mean, it's like I don't know if it's
It's
people
like,
are creating stories out of thin air and making up anonymous. I mean, that's the thing with anonymous, right? You cannot never. They put it on the anonymous because it's protecting the source.
yeah,
But what is the source? Is by hand.
yeah. The story is a bit Smollett. But
Guys, we have a
but
show about Smollett as well, right? The
Justice Smollett, yeah, yeah,
Justice Smollett, right?
yeah.
Take a look at our page. We have a story about Justice Smollett. But according to the story, two more ex-girlfriends say that they have been, um, let's say, abused. But the thing is, with ex-girlfriends,
Yeah.
do they have a grudge? Did he move on and got better? Are they missing out on the money and they're trying to get some? And that's the hardest thing about stories like this, right? It's hard to assess whether what is true and what is not. If he was, let's say, abusive, why didn't you report it to police?
Yeah. Well, I think it's easier said than done. If you see a lot of people when they are in, so what I see in my practice is that when a victim of abuse decides to actually make a complaint, to file a complaint, it's usually after the abuse has taken place for a long time. So sometimes it's like 1 year, 2 years later. Uh, sometimes like it's a very, maybe it happened just once, but it was in such a grave matter way, such a grave way that the person said, I need to do it. So, but that's the thing with emotional abuse, right? So that's the first thing I'm thinking. Physical abuse, that's easy to prove. I would say easier. But emotional abuse, especially nowadays, KR, where everyone is offended by anything you say, what are we talking about? So,
Who says that person didn't abuse him first as well, but he's mentally stronger?
yeah, that's also wrong. I mean, again, what is abuse? It's especially emotional abuse. You know what it is, but you can define it probably in a very scholarly manner, but that doesn't. I mean, we as human beings, when we talk, sometimes we get mad, sometimes we're in bad moods. So when I read these articles, it doesn't really surprise me. Also, because it's very common that when a popular person is under fire, under scrutiny, a bunch of victims will pop out
I've
from
seen him do it.
like shrooms. I should say mushrooms, actually.
Well, they probably are shrooms as well, and they will come out and say
I've seen him do it.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, and this doesn't only apply to men, right? It also happened to Ellen DeGeneres as well. When she, when she started,
Ellen these days.
no, she's quit. She stopped her show. I don't know where she is, but
Oh, was she? Anyway, that's good.
but like some stories came out of her that she was a bully, etc. And the point, I'm not saying that it is true or that it isn't true, but one thing is a fact that when a famous people is under fire, a lot of people will pop out of nowhere claiming that they're victims. And you always need to be, I mean, you always need to, we live in a democratic society, and it's always innocent until proven guilty. So even if the stories come from all directions, people claiming a lot of things, you need to respect it, because some people will be fighting for their lives.
I don't have that clip. I don't have that one, but I might have to add in.
That's,
People fighting for their lives. Yes,
I'm sitting here fighting for my life. Hey, y'all,
30 years, man. Dude got 30 years, man. Jeez. But guys, if you're fighting for your life, we are not the first responders. Find yourself a phone and call 911. Before we continue, guys, with the second part of the show, where we're going to dive deep into the response to these allegations and also what is next for Jonathan, we are going to do some domestic ads. We have our first ad from the oh man, I screwed up. From Bud Light. I wanted to say from Bud Light. No, guys, I'm just kidding. Before we continue with the show, don't forget to press on the like button. It really helps us getting our show out there. We're trying to spread the word.
yes, yes, yes. The gospel.
The gospel. This today, no AI talk. Um, don't forget to follow us on all social media. Instagram, Facebook, and maybe also in the future, Threads, unless it's being sued by Twitter. Then it's a waste of time for us. But guys, don't forget as well to press on that subscribe button. 95% of you guys have been watching our videos frequently, but still haven't subscribed. Don't forget to press on the subscribe button so you are always notified about these topics. We talk about cases, lawsuit cases. We talk about business. We dive deep into situations of business people, businesses. For example, last Monday we talked about the latest on Budweiser and Bud Light. What are they doing this summer? Is this a Bud Light summer or is it a water summer? Let's take a look, guys. Go to watch that show again. It's a very good show. Maybe if Jesus turned water into wine,
Don't bring Jesus into this.
Bud Light turns water into beer. Guys, don't forget to press on that notification button so you're always notified as well. And don't forget to share the video with your friends, families, your boxing coach, your girlfriend who's a bit handsy.
Cuckoo.
And of course, don't forget to share it with your enemies so you can distract them. That way you can duck the fate. You never know, man. You always have to be on point with your enemies. RJ.
Yes, you need to be on point with your enemies. Remember as well, guys. I mean, Kara already said it. Subscribing is very important. We want to reach 30 subs by the end of this week. We're breaking down our big goals in small chunks. So please help us. If you haven't done so already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. Yes, I think we can proceed with the second part, KR.
Should you believe exes? I don't know. guys, yes. I thought it was a good start, good start on the second part, because we're going to talk about the response from Jonathan Majors after all this assault drama.
Yeah.
where he called because he was getting assaulted, and he's the one who's getting arrested.
Yeah,
What
he
kind of-
yeah
what kind
he
of world are we
called.
living in?
Yeah, he called.
He called. Imagine that you're getting beat up. Yo, you call.
Hey,
Hey,
man, it's a cruel world, man. For men in this world, like when Chris Rock said, only what did he say? Only women and dogs are loved. Women, kids, and dogs are loved unconditionally. I mean, he wasn't lying, man. The man called. The man called because he was like, I'm not gonna put my hands on
yes.
this on this nice lady. I'm gonna call.
Shout out to lead attorney.
Shout out to TLA. I'm not gonna put my hands on this nice lady. I'm gonna call the police, and the police comes and arrest him. That's crazy, man. But
We always say,
it's not shocking. I mean, these things happen. These things.
yes. We always say at Double Touch, you protect yourself at all times. The guy tried to protect himself and find himself in bigger problems. Sometimes these things happen. Guys, let's go to the article. Jonathan Majors files domestic violence complaint against alleged victim in assault case. So that's the first one. Then it followed up by the lawyer saying that he is actually the victim in this case, and the NYPD has a reasonable cause to arrest his ex-girlfriend. Not that shocking. Well, it continues. The DA tweaks Jonathan Major's charge as he says he's innocent. Almost said he's comfortable. What this article basically says is that the prosecutor basically has rewritten the charge to reflect the perspective of Majors rather than only the police officer's account. Because it is said that the videos, body cams, are showing a different story.
Apparently,
According to sources, and we're going to show these sources to you. We are not the sources here. We're never the sources. So if you sue someone, you find the need to proceed legal steps.
we will tell.
I've seen him do it.
We'll give you all the information you need,
Links and
all the articles, even the writer, if we can find out who wrote the article. So
we might even have to dox the right. No, that's not something we'll do.
No, that's not what we're doing.
We're not that far. We're not that far. Guys, Jonathan Majors claims new video proves that he did not assault his girlfriend, and lawyer claims that the cops coached her into saying that the actor grabbed her by the neck.
That's a bad look. If it is true, it's a bad look.
That's a very bad look for the NYPD.
Yeah, if it is true.
Well, we know they are used to grabbing people by the neck at the NYPD. That has resulted in a couple of cases. And now they're trying to accuse others of grabbing other people by the neck.
Yeah. This
might result in another case for them. I guess police are never right. Anyway, no. We're with the Blues. We were always with the Blues. Unless they are foul. Doing foul things. In which case, lock them up. Yeah. As a great president once said. Guys, it's crazy out here because it continues. Lawyer of Marvel's Jonathan Majors blames NYPD of racism for his domestic violence arrest. RJ, what do you think so far about these articles? Because it seems to me that there might be the NYPD seems to not. It's not a good look. So
Well,
far.
go to the last article you pulled up.
Which one? The racism one.
The the article you just pulled up.
I have this one.
Yeah, that one. Scroll a bit down. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to see? Oh, more.
No, it's just right there. I just wanna. Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that the pictures show Jonathan Majors with Meagan Good. That's not the woman she punched, by the way. Or that they're saying that she punched. That allegedly.
I thought you want to say something profound. This, come on, man. Come on, man. No, that's not. That's his new girlfriend.
They started dating right after the incident, and
Oh,
that to
what?
me, that well, we don't know. Well, we'll leave that story for or no TMZ.
It happens to be that right after the alleged case, they began dating. So
Couple, yeah,
no, they became a couple.
yeah,
But they
and
became a couple because she found out. His girlfriend found out.
yeah,
Women can get aggressive too.
yeah, and when that happened, because usually when someone is undergoing public scrutiny, people will distance themselves from them because they don't want to be associated with those people. They want to let the storm pass to see what the end results are before making the decision to continue, engaging or to lose their number.
We are friends, but from a distance.
Yeah. But in this case, when Meagan Good publicly came out as his girlfriend, and they started going to places together, going to court together, etc. That to me was like it gave me the impression that she knew something that we didn't, because it was either that or she was dumb. But I don't have,
There is also option 3.
which is
You can always well, option 3. What's his name again? Oh man, what's this name again? Uh is it Paul George? What's not Paul George?
the basketball player.
Yeah, the basketball player got fired from ESPN and he was sitting next to King
Paul
G.
Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Oh, I almost close. I was close. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce said in my girlfriend for the maybe it's his girlfriend for the day.
Yeah, nah.
That's option number 3.
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't know.
Well,
I mean, it's a story, right? I don't know. I don't know nothing.
yeah, it's Hollywood. But what that did get, and that's what so to me it was two things: either she knew something that we didn't know, or at least that she believed him, believed the story, or it was her being dumb and reckless. But I don't have her. I mean, she's a veteran in the game. She's been in the limelight for years, so I would think so. I don't think that she would make a decision like that recklessly. So, but yeah, those were all speculations. Still is, man.
Is this the new Will Smith situation where a A-list actor dates and marries a D-lister? Oh wait. Anyway, guys.
Why do you do this?
Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Anyway, guys, let's continue with the show. Oh, she hates me so bad right now.
Why would you say that? Oh man. The-
What did I say?
she was married to a she was married to a pastor, right?
Huh?
She was married to a pastor, right?
Yeah, she was married to a pastor. And then they divorced. But she wasn't saved. What did I say that did I lie? Did I lie about the previous Will Smith remark? Guys, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the spam the comments. Let us know. Did
Let us know.
AR lie about this whole situation?
So your question is concrete. So to specify your question to the audience is whether or not Jada Pinkett Smith is indeed a D-list actress. Whether or not KR was right to call her a D-list actress. Did KR rank her too high? Let us know. Let's continue.
She's either she's a D-list actor or she's Jane Doe in the movie. Let's continue. If those who know, that refers to Chris. Hey, Will, don't! I will defend myself.
In her case, they'll call her G.I. Jane Doe.
Well, I will defend myself. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, guys, let's continue with the articles. NYPD, Jonathan Majors blames the NYPD for racism for his arrest, and his lawyer says hours of video will prove he's innocent of domestic violence charges. Paulus continues. They were coaching his girlfriend or his former girlfriend, and then it was revealed, like a couple of days after these articles about the coaching and basically racism, someone, I don't know who, flooded the story that NYPD seeks arrest of ex-girlfriend in the latest plot twist. In the middle of the case, have you ever heard of this, RJ, before? Out of nowhere.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you hear me? Did you hear my question?
I heard. I wasn't listening.
Okay. My question was, did you ever heard? Because the NYPD basically said they are, well, the rumors were that NYPD was seeking arrest of the ex-girlfriend in the latest plot twist.
Yeah.
In the middle of the case. So the case was against Majors, and suddenly there was this rumor was going in the world like that they were seeking to arrest her. Have you ever heard of this before?
Well, was it in a hearing? Was it in a court case, or are you talking about the pre-trial? The pre-trial?
No, it was just basically in the media. They said they were seeking to arrest.
Yeah, well,
it's not in the case itself.
So it doesn't. You do see it often when the police act immediately without information. So sometimes the police need to act immediately, right? So in certain cases where there is a risk that maybe what the person is being accused of is very bad, something very grave, then the police need to act immediately. And then you arrest someone, and when you arrest the person, you start asking information, etc. But that's based on what the police knew. And while the investigation is going on, you might find other information which will change your opinion. But the police were acting on based on the information that they knew, the limited information that they had at that particular point in time. And so it's not uncommon. Let me put that. It's not uncommon. No. Especially taking into account as well that the police acted. So it's not like something that happened like a month ago and something that happened in the past, and like a month later, the victim went to the police station to file a complaint. It was something the police acted immediately that evening. So they came to the place, they checked, assessed the situation, and took Jonathan Major. So that in that sense, it's not that weird or uncommon.
Okay. So, guys, if you don't know, this is, by the way, the accuser or the ex-girlfriend of Jonathan in there. Grace Jabari. This is Grace. And this is the new girlfriend, Meagan Good.
Now you have to ask yourself, go to the previous one.
Which was the previous one? The
Yeah,
one
that
before that?
That one. No, the previous one. The one you had before that.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you have to ask yourself, as TLA always asks. Oh, this will apply in this case as well. Was it worth it, Johnny? TLA would be like, was it worth it, Johnny? Look at that.
Worth it.
That porcelain skin. She doesn't have a swirl. Or was it a twirl? I don't know what the name is. Was it worth it, Johnny?
The salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Look at this.
TLA would really ask, man. TLA would ask, was it worth it, Johnny? In this case, Jonathan Major.
Jonathan, aka Johnny, but because this will end like Johnny. But to continue about the story of his ex being arrested, allegedly, the NYPD has confirmed to Newsweek that the woman who has accused actor Jonathan Majors of assault has not been arrested following his claims that she assaulted him first, and said an investigation into the matter is ongoing. So this is not the end of this story. And of course, what you also get is the ex-girlfriend saying that he was basically chin checking, or not chin checking, emotional abuse.
Emotional chin checking.
Yeah.
Soul checking.
Soul checking. Yeah. Well, he said he saw all false allegations, according to his attorney, Dustin Push.
I'm not going to say what race, what people. We know I can't say that.
Dustin said this is all malarkey. This is all claims. He has never physically abused or mentally abused any of his domestic partners.
Yeah.
At the end, well,
yeah, if you accuse someone of domestic abuse, either physical or emotional, it's difficult because you, as a man or woman, doesn't matter who it is, you can't prove it. So the person can't, the victim, like a real victim, will have problems proving that she's a victim. Like if it's physical, then you have the pictures, but all other type would be difficult to prove. They also say you have financial abuse. But for the other person as well, for the one that's being accused in this, or to put it more specifically, the one that's being personally accused. Once someone accuses you publicly of some form of abuse, there's very little you can do to let's say safeguard your image and your reputation. Even so, that means that even if the victim, let's say the other person, let's say the other person is lying, that person might not be, let's say a court case might not be successful against the one that's being falsely accused because there wouldn't be enough evidence. However, the court of public opinion will punish you, and that is scary.
And yes, it will punish you. And don't forget, guys, he has lost a couple of deals already and also been dropped from 2 movie projects. We all know him as the guy who played Creed, but his biggest role so far is still,
He didn't play Creed, right? He played
he played his
In
role
Creed.
in Creed. That's what I said, right?
No, you said he played Creed. I think that's what you said.
No, I said in Creed.
Let's-
Let's put. I
Let's
cannot
play back. Let's play back.
I cannot play it back, but anyway, he played in Creed. His role in Creed. That's what I said, I think. Anyway,
Okay.
we all know that Michael B. Williams is the one who's playing Creed, right?
What's his name again?
Michael B. Williams, yes. From the previous show, Michael B. Williams.
Okay. So you did it on purpose,
Did you think I make the same mistake twice?
bro. I mean, you're so bad with names, man.
Yeah, I am bad with names. That is true. But Johnny Depp was basically dropped off, man. Johnny Depp was also dropped back then, but that's where I want to transition to. He played for Disney because Marvel is below Disney. He played Kang. His biggest role is Kang.
Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror. Guys, Kang is it's a fun character because he is very witty and he plays the role so good in Loki and also the other appearances he's had so far. It's a very fun character to look at and also very charismatic. And they have big plans for Kang. Basically, the next part into the Marvel universe will be a Kang dynasty. He will be the one who should be leading.
Yeah, he's the main villain. So in the first 3, what do they call it? Not chapters, phases, I think. The first 3 phases, it was Thanos that was the major villain. And in these phases, the 4th, 5th, and 6th phases, Khan is basically the main villain, and the whole MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is centered around Khan the Conqueror. And they've been building his character, Jonathan Major's character, the Khan character, in all the series and movies, gradually more and more, giving him more roles, giving him more depth, giving him more importance in the movie. So it's a very big role for him. I think it's the biggest role he has. And he still has it, I believe, right, KR?
Yes, because nothing has been revealed yet about this. Their decision. According to Fandom Wire, nothing has been proved about this dude. Jonathan Major's Kang Return gets refreshing update thanks to this Marvel star. So they haven't dropped him yet. They are waiting. The question is, that's why I said Johnny Depp earlier. Did Disney learn his lesson from the Johnny Depp case, where they dropped him immediately after he was accused of doing horrible things
Yeah.
to
That's the
another star?
That's the first question. The second question is whether Jonathan Majors, or at least whether the ex of Jonathan Majors, who is accusing him, like Amber Heard, will accuse Jonathan Majors of throwing her over the table. Something that is physically impossible. I guess we'll find out.
Or was Jonathan Majors the one who got thrown over the table by a domestic violence chica? More will be told about this story. So maybe Disney has learned from their mistake. They didn't drop him right away, so they're waiting to see what happens, because it seems like this might be a bogus story after all.
But I think another thing plays a role, KR, why they didn't do it. It might be because they learned a lesson, but I think there's another reason, and that is Johnny Depp's character, Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean, is a character that is a recurring character, right?
Well, he was Pirates of the Caribbean, but continue.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say was that each movie was a standalone movie.
Mm-hmm.
So although he was all movies, it's just like MI6, what's it called, Mission Impossible, or James Bond. Although it's the same people, respectively, the same characters, that the series is surrounded, that the series is about. Each movie is a movie on itself. Whereas in the case of the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, the whole series, the whole phase, at least the phases 4 through 6, are one. So all the small parts, all the small the movies and the series and the short films and all these things are telling basically one big story, one epic story. And if you take out, I will even say this, KR. If you take out, let's say the guy who plays Ant-Man did it, Paul Rudd, I believe his name is, or someone that plays one superhero did it, whatever. That I would go as far as to say that those people have less of a big role than Jonathan Majors does, because Jonathan Majors, his character at least, connects all the universe or universes with one another. The only other character that might come close to him, who might be as important as him, or perhaps more important, is, I believe, Loki. Because he is the one that, well, even Loki had different characters.
Dude, they can rewrite stuff, so I don't know where you're going. They can say he shapeshifted to to Idris. You know Idris, right?
And that's what, yeah, but that's what as I was talking, I realized because Loki is important. No, Loki is very important, but
Yeah, but
in
they
the
rewind.
Loki series, they had different versions already.
Yeah, so they can shape shift him
So they can
into.
just use they can use the alligator Loki to
Well, it's cheaper. It's cheaper. You don't have to pay an alligator any dollars.
so yeah, I think he's the most important one.
It's important, but I do think that, in my honest opinion, I think they definitely learned from that situation of Johnny Depp, because Johnny is now refusing to go back. So it's really deleted.
Yeah.
Cannot use the word. It deleted the franchise, because I think they tried it without him and it wasn't as successful as before. So right now that franchise is done.
Done.
A bunch of money lost. I mean, well, a lot of times what you see these days is that these movies are making a lot of money as well, since they decided to go different route. We have a show about that, by the way, guys. I think, right? About let's call it wokeism.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Woke.
that's the thing. That's the thing right now. That's the thing. With Jonathan Majors. And you also have other people who are linked to the MCU who are saying right now that I mean, there is no evidence, and he shouldn't be arrested. There's nothing proven, Anthony Mackie says. So why are people acting this way? There is nothing proven. He's still in a lawsuit. It's still a case.
Yeah.
So how are people trying to crucify him while there's nothing proven? And at the end of the day, if it is revealed, which everything is pointing that way, we don't know yet, but if it will point out that the NYD did something foul and basically was coaching the girlfriend, can we call? I don't know how much money Jonathan Majors made so far, but could Jonathan be the next 9-figure actor without even having to play a role, as he sues New York State for trumping up a case that could hurt his image? Guys, let us know in the comments. RJ, what do you think about that?
As long as it doesn't settle for $1, like the guys in the Starbucks case did, the one that we discussed last week, then I think they're good, man. I think he's good. Yeah, it's just I don't think that's the way to go. I think money is one thing, but you work hard for a career. You work hard to, you have a dream and you want to be able to reach your dreams, accomplish your dreams and reach your goals. And I don't think it's all about the money. I mean, the money is important, but he was Khan, man. He was Khan the Conqueror. I mean, it's very difficult to get that role. A role so important, so not specifically that role, but just a role that important, and he got it. And to lose it all, I mean, and if he's guilty, KR, he's guilty. And if he's guilty, then he should suffer the consequences. But if he isn't, I mean, it goes to show you how someone who is close to you, might think is your ally, can jeopardize you willingly or unwillingly. We saw it in Jamoran's case as well, when he was waving the blicky, where basically he had a friend. He has a friend, I think. They said that he unfollowed him, but that's probably a PR stunt. But
you unfollow him, but you still have him as a friend in your phone. And you can call them in WhatsApp. Come on, man.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. So it's
And you
but
still make videos we don't see.
yeah, well, if you don't see him, then we don't know it exists, right? But it's just goes to show you how you can work very hard for something, but you can lose it all in a fraction of a second. So it's important to stay humble and to stay smart. Never think you made it. You need to stay on your toes because people are out here to get you, and if they don't want your money, then if that's not what they want, then what they probably want is for you to not have that money. That way they wouldn't need to feel bad about wanting something you have. So always need to watch out. And yeah, it's never a guarantee, but move smart.
Yes, yes. Move smart. Move smart. No, prevention is everything, as we say at a Double Thought Show. What's the line again, RJ?
Prevention is better than cure.
Yes, yes, yes. Don't find yourself in a situation like Jonathan. If she's beating you up, maybe it's time to leave.
Or your
There's
cor-
no shame in leaving when you get a black eye.
yeah. There's
RJ,
really-
do you have anything to add?
No, I mean we're gonna see, wait and see what will happen in the show. We need to,
case,
in
you
this
mean?
case. I mean, in this case, I don't think it's
That's
over.
a showcase. That's definitely.
This is not a live coverage, guys. This is not a 24-hour, 24/7 channel where we just no. But I guess we'll just need to wait and see what will transpire. It does seem as though there has been a shift in the sense that people are at least realizing that there is a chance that Majors isn't guilty. And you can see that the tide is gradually changing. Whether that will be enough or no, we don't know. There are allegedly body cam footages where the cops can be heard saying certain things that are, that they were instructing the ex of Jonathan Major on how was the best way to basically incriminate Jonathan Majors. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. And as we saw in the Michael Irving case, when you can see a story, you can hear a story, you can watch a footage, but when you hear the story from the other party, it always forces you to think differently, or at least not think differently, but at least challenge what you believed in the first so what you believed initially. And that's not a bad thing, because you can only form conclusions based on what you know. And the more you know, the more factors you have to make your conclusions. So we're going to wait and see. If he did something wrong, then he should receive he should suffer the consequences. And if he didn't, then he shouldn't. That's my belief, and I believe in innocent until proven guilty. So yeah, I think that's a very important rule, very important principle within our society, within the democratic state. And if you put that on the side, then you put the fate of your democracy in jeopardy. With that being said, guys, it's been a real pleasure to serve you once more. Whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button, share the video with your friends, your family, and of course, your enemies. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. It's very important that you subscribe to our channel, because we want to grow the channel, increase the level of the production of our shows. And we have a lot of very interesting ideas, but we're going to do it step by step and with your support. And at least we will need your support to reach our goals. As Kara always says at the end of the show.
But I can only show you the door.
And if behind that door you find yourself, having to make a choice whether to dip or stay in a losing situation, always make the choice that helps you the best and protects you.
Yes.
Don't hit back.
Yeah. Don't hit first either. Guys,
Yeah.
let's have a healthy conversation in the comment section below, and we'll see each other in the next one. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, by the way, sorry, before I continue, guys, if you want us to create free Jonathan Major shirts, no, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
With the double dot logo on it.
Right below. No, I'm just kidding.
It's been
Continue.
a pleasure to serve you once more, and we'll see each other in the next one. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.